Mike Love.
Aloha.
Aloha. And we are in February in Prague. It's very cold. Somewhere it's even frozen. So I'm very happy for the Aloha vibes tonight before his concert. And Mike is from Hawaii. And he's doing very interesting music. So let's explore together. I wanted to ask for your music beginnings, because I heard that you came from the music family, so I guess that the music was a part of your life from the very early age. But when you decided to really do it fully?
Yeah, I mean, I was always in music just growing up, and it always was such a big part of my life. And I knew, you know, really at a pretty early age that I was going to do music, and I just went fully in it. And in Hawaii, where I'm from, there's just an amazing music scene there. There's so many just naturally gifted musicians all around, and there's just a beautiful scene. There's, you know, of course, reggae music is king, but there's a music scene for everything there. There's a really thriving like jazz scene and heavy metal and hip hop, and you know, there's just, if you make music there, there's an audience for you, you know, and that's the beautiful thing about it. And so many, you know, world-class musicians, session musicians move to Hawaii and are there living there. So there's just an abundance of really, really amazing musicians to play with and learn from.
See, and which genres you started with?
Well, you know, I grew up playing classical music and rock and folk and reggae, you know. So, you know, for me, really centering in and forming a foundation on reggae came with, you know, my introduction to Rastafari, and the spiritual elements of reggae music is what I resonated with, and that's why, you know, that message is at the core of everything I do, no matter what, you know, style of music gets woven in there. You know, reggae music, Rastafari is really at the core of it, you know, having music for a message, you know, having a reason to be there singing, to connect, to bring people together for unity, love, and peace, you know.
See. What about the space, you know, that is, let's say, the radios and the media given to this music? Because in Europe, I feel, you know, that if it's like easy going, you know, let's dance, you know, or, you know, tonight is the night, you know, whatever, like easy topics, you know, okay, you can get to some radio airplay, but what about the conscious music?
Well,
in your place?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, the machine that is the music industry and the record labels and, you know, the mainstream media is continually pushing more and more shallow music, more and more music that's really intended to make people less intelligent and thoughtful, and make them more docile and easy to control. So while that industry is focused on that, and you have more and more pop music that's just so simplified and dumbed down and used to really control people with messages there that are, you know, intended to put people in a lower vibrational state. As independent musicians, more and more people are inspired to exist outside of that space completely. And luckily, you know, we have a lot of tools now that are at our disposal to be able to get, you know, music out to people. But I still think the number one medium is live music. And that's why I'm here out in Europe, you know, halfway around the world from my home, sharing music, because in this format, you know, we get to make music together, and it's at its highest vibration. We feel it together, and it's in the moment, you know. There's no manipulation, there's no auto-tune, there's no quantizing, there's no artificial intelligence that could ever do this, what we do in the moment, because it takes the spirit that we feel and that we're connected and feeling each other's spirit and energy, and that goes into the music. It goes, you know, when I'm up there playing, it's not me singing, it's not me playing, it's my main goal is to walk out there and open my heart completely and allow the spirit of everyone in the room to come in and just be a vessel for that, to bring us together and sing our song together as one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
DIY, no? This is probably something what you really do with your music the whole time?
Yeah.
You never been signed to any label?
Never, no. You know, I produce all my own albums. You know, I compose and arrange and mix and all the levels, and never have been signed to a label. Never would want to be signed to a label.
See, it's very inspirative.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough tools at our disposal now that, we don't need to give away our creativity to anybody that's, you know, interested in you know, turning it into something that it's not, and, you know, making it more marketable, you know? I mean, this is Jahmusic, you know?
It is.
It's for the people. It's not for, you know, an executive or a corporation to decide what it's going to be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
People here will see your one-man band show, but you told me that you are also working with the whole band.
Yeah.
There in Hawaii. Can you tell us more a bit?
Yeah, I have an amazing band. The Full Circle is my band. Mike Love and the Full Circle. Yeah, amazing, incredible musicians. Multiple members of the band were original members of a band called Groundation. I'm sure you're aware with. So the drums, bass, and keys were original founding members of that band. Yeah. So just incredible musicians that inspired me, you know, so much over the years, and you know, a lot of incredible musicians from Hawaii that I've you know, been playing with for a long time as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how it works with your music, because it's very specific music, no, and you are very creative with within the reggae, you are really bringing, you know, different flavors in it, and if you create the songs, you know, you start with the melodies, or you start with the lyrics or the content, or what's the process there, and then to bring it to the band?
Yeah, it's very much like just an inspiration-based process. So it might start with a, you know, idea for a drum groove or a bass line or just a lyric that turns into a melody, or, you know, some chords in a melody, or a feeling, you know, or the necessity to write something out of situations happening in the world. You know, it's always different. But yeah, when I bring it to the band, it's mostly fully arranged. All the, you know, parts are, you know, the drums, the bass, the horns, the choral structure, everything's already, you know, written when I usually bring it to them. So I'll have a lot of times charts written out for them, you know.
Okay. You have a new album, Teachers, right?
Yeah.
The right one, Teachers, and before there were Leaders.
Yeah.
And there is one more coming.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about this triple idea?
Yeah, it was just I had a really large amount of music. It was kind of a big space in between. My last album was in 2016, and we started recording that and project in late 2019, I think. But during that time, I built up so much material that we went into the studio and just recorded it all, and it was such a massive amount of music that it ended up being 3 albums worth of music, and it was based around that. The main idea of the project was based around that. That title track, which is, where's all the leaders, where's all the teachers, where's all the healers, which happens in different ways and different arrangements of it happen throughout all 3 projects. So now, all the music was all done at once, and I've just been slowly working on the post-production and mixing and everything. So I'm mixing the final one now. And, yeah.
And where they are, where are the peacemakers now? Do you think that, while seeing, what is happening in America, but not only there, that the leaders are actually the very egocentric beings, no?
Right. Well, yeah.
That's something. You use the message of reggae. You use your music directly to talk about what's going on in the world. I think that this is a very important part of reggae music. Talking about the things, about the true things. While seeing the Babylon and the controllers and manipulators of the whole thing.
Right.
While you are traveling around the world with this kind of message, how do you feel that the people resonates?
Yeah, well, everywhere I go, people are attracted to this music because they're already experiencing it and waking up to it. So I definitely, I meet very beautiful, conscious people everywhere I go, every corner of the world I travel to. And the idea of that project and that song and the message behind it is, we're supposed to have these leaders that are, the heads of these massive countries and leaders of the world, and yet they're the most corrupt and evil, power mongers, and there's so much going on behind the scenes with them that most people are not even aware of, and it's very, very dark, and the whole point is that, they've convinced the masses that we need them, that we need to be led, but really we are our own sovereign spiritual beings, and we have the power to make the right choices for ourselves if we wake up and start to follow our own intuition. So the idea is that I don't need to be your leader. The world leaders, we don't need the world leaders. We don't need religious or political leaders to lead us. We don't need a preacher to tell us what's right. We don't need a president to tell us what's right. We already know that. It's inherent in our spirits. And all we have to do is wipe away the illusion and start listening to our inner intuition and become our own leaders. And in that way, we become greater examples for those around us and become leaders for those around us who have not found that yet.
Seen. It's a very specific type now, no?
Yeah.
When the illusion seems to be so big.
Yeah, right. But that's why we're here,
Yeah.
And we've all, as spirits, we've all decided, in our karma, we've decided to come here in this time, in 2026, the most chaotic time in history that I think maybe has been written about, and here we are, and we're navigating it, and we have to navigate it because we decided to come here. So we must have needed this, and we must have wanted to experience this for our own spiritual evolution.
messages in the reggae music already back from the roots reggae artists.
Absolutely.
It's making much bigger sense nowadays.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
these lyrics.
And that's why that's the, for me, that's the foundation of all the reggae that I listen to. And I continue after all of these years to go back to the Abyssinians, to go back to the Congos, to go back to Israel Vibrations, and of course Bob and Peter and Bunny, and those messages in that music were the messages that ignited my own spiritual evolution. And they still do, and they ring, you listen to Bob Marley's music, his messages are more potent and powerful and more relevant today than they were 50 years ago when he wrote it. So I think that's that's why reggae music will always be at the foundation for me.
See, there are ups and downs for the reggae music now. Many people are talking that the interest in the reggae is much lower, but my view is a bit different, because I see how many people, even not from the reggae crowds, are actually resonating with the thing. No? Do you also follow do you also follow nowadays artists, like any from the new generation?
Yeah, of course there's so many great artists coming out of Jamaica. Of course, Chronix is one of my favorites, and I love Samurai and Mortimer. Like, there's just a lot of really beautiful artists. John Nine is a incredible artist. And there's so many, and there's a lot, there's a lot of great roots reggae artists that have come out of Hawaii as well.
Please tell us a bit more about Hawaii, because many people just probably heard about you, maybe about J-Boo, and that's it. So give us some tips, for Hawaiian music.
Yeah, what I was talking to you about before, for the people, if you haven't checked out an artist from Hawaii that's one of my biggest influences, that when I was coming up was really, really big band on the scene. There's a band from Hawaii called Ukla the Mock. And they're just an incredible roots reggae band, very progressive, amazing musicians. And the bass player, Jagumbi, has a studio called Father Psalm Studio. And I made an album with him that he produced called Jah Will Never Leave I Alone, with a lot of that sound, that he really created, because he was the kind of the musical force behind that band. So, yeah.
Good. Last question. This Aloha, this Hawaiian... this Hawaiian way of life, is something what I just know theoretically, and I would love if you share a bit with us, because here many months of the year is like cold, and people are inside the houses, they don't communicate too much, and it's like freezing, so it's Aloha, what exactly it means, and how we can incorporate it, in the life.
Yeah, I think it's we talk about the Aloha spirit, which is like the spirit of the people of the islands. And it's just a very open spirit, you walk down the street, you see somebody, you say, hey, how's it? Are you good? Yeah, I'm good, cool, have a good day, You take care of each other. If you see somebody who needs help, you stop to help them. You don't walk by and look the other way. So it's a very, family, we call it ohana is the Hawaiian word, and it's just, it's a togetherness, that the people have, community, and it's about respect. It's a respect and a connection with the aina, the land, that is very important, because the land in Hawaii is amazing, powerful, beautiful waterfalls and incredible mountains and cliffs flowing down to the most amazing beaches with amazing waves, the energy, it's a lot of energy, mana, So and that's the spirit of it. It's the land, it's the people, and it's really about taking care of each other.
And so there is a big connection with the nature, right?
Absolutely.
And respect to the mother nature.
Of course.
In general,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I grew up with that. I grew up with that, and I didn't even. It took going away from the islands and going to other places to realize how special it was, because, you know, you grow up there and that's just the way life is. You know, you naturally, you love the land, you spend all your time in the mountains, in the ocean. It's just the most beautiful, fun thing to do. And you love it, you know, and of course you respect it because it's taking care of you and nurturing you and energizing you. And then you go to another place and you go to the big city, Los Angeles or New York, and it's like, wow, it's so different here. The energy is dark and like people are very closed off, and you're like, wow, you know, is growing up in a place where the energy is and the land is, you know, very taken care of and respected. You can really feel the power of the land, and you go to a place where the land has been disrespected and covered in concrete and built upon and trash everywhere, and you know, you realize, wow, this is what happens when you disrespect the land. The vibration of the place goes down and the people feel it and they reflect it, you know, in their own energy.
Sin.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the sharing.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna warm up.
Aloha,
for the show.
Micro.
Aloha.
Leave this broken world behind. And I will be deeper than the deepest, darkest sea. And I won't need no one to rescue me. No judge or love will always find me. Yeah. When you're